Greetings TVR2A, this is your first walkthrough video showing the download and install of the free version of the Pro Tools software, and Avid calls this software Pro Tools Intro. And this will be done on a Mac computer. This will require an internet connection. I'll also be creating 2 new accounts. One will be a new Avid account. In addition to that, I'll also be creating an iLok account. And then I'll be downloading and installing Avid Link, which will in turn install Pro Tools Intro, and then I'll be able to launch it for the first time. Okay, so I'm just walking you through. Again, this is starting from the very beginning. And the way we do this is go ahead and click in your browser, avid.com. That's avid.com. That is the parent company of Pro Tools. They also own Media Composer. They also own Sibelius and Euphonics, a couple other big companies. All right, so this is their main homepage. We're going to go ahead and click on Audio and Music tab. We're going to go here to the left column where it says Pro Tools, and we'll single click. Now once we get to the Pro Tools page, we will go ahead and start to scroll down. I will pause here just for a moment. You'll notice you do see pricing. We are not purchasing Pro Tools, but I did want to draw your attention to you do have the ability to have an educational discount. If you click on Students and Teachers, it will then bring up the yearly subscription cost for Pro Tools. And this is full version of Pro Tools, which has many audio tracks, and you can see here what it has. All right, anyway, for this class you do not need to make a purchase of the software, but if you did have hopes to maybe use full version of Pro Tools, this would be one of your opportunities to make that purchase as well. All right, but I'm going to continue to scroll down. I'll also pause here. We'll come back here in just a moment. This is where we will download the software, but before we do that, I want to go all the way to the bottom of this page, and I just want to double check that you've checked on your computer requirements. Go ahead and click on System Requirements, and then you're going to scroll down and read this page. Double check that whatever computer you're using, that it meets these minimum guidelines. You'll see it talks about the Mac operating system, it talks about the RAM needed, it talks about internet connection. You don't really need to worry about slots, and probably don't really need to worry about this USB or Thunderbolt. But you will need to make an iLok account, which I'm going to discuss here in just a bit. And just for full transparency, what I'm using is a MacBook Pro. It's from 2019. It has 32 gigs of RAM. And I'm running operating system Sonoma 14.7.6. So I'm right in here. And I have no problems with it. Okay? Right. Anyway, go ahead and read through that and click on any of those links that you need. This is not a huge application. The intro version has limited number of tracks, so it doesn't require a whole lot of power. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and backtrack back to this page. I'm going to go back to the Pro Tools Intro section, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Download Now. All right, so the first step in getting Pro Tools Intro is you need to have an Avid account. Now, this Avid account is free, and you do use your email address in order to create it. And I would encourage you to use an email that is not your Pasadena.go email, just so you have access to your account when you leave the college. So I would go ahead and use like a Gmail account, or if you have some other email, go ahead and use that instead of using your Pasadena. If you want to use your Pasadena, that's not a problem. Just be advised that when you leave the campus, that email account will be turned off and you won't have access to it anymore. which in essence means you would not be able to log in to Avid. All right, so it says Get Pro Tools Intro, getting started with your email. And I'm going to go ahead and type in my email address that I'll be using for this, which is just a random Gmail account. There'll be a box here for you to check. Go ahead and click it, and then go ahead and choose Continue. All right, and now it's asking me here towards the bottom to go ahead and give a password. Remember, this is a password you're going to need to remember. So make sure you have it either written down or you have it stored somewhere so you can get back to it. We'll go ahead and type in a password and see what happens. And click Continue. All right, now it brings me to the second page, which asks me, do I have an iLok account? Now, I would assume most of us will not have an iLok account, so you'll be creating that for free as well. iLok is a cloud-based license authentication service, which means the license that you get in order to operate the software is going to be stored in the cloud. So anytime you go to launch Pro Tools Intro in the future, it's going to log into the iLok account and it's going to confirm that you have an actual license. And again, this license is free, but it is going to do this every time. So for everyone who does not already have an iLok account, make sure you click No when it says, do you have an iLok account? And by doing that, Avid is now going to create one. And it is going to be your same email that you used, and it's also going to be that same password that you used. All right, so let's give it a second for it to create that iLok account. Here it says to download my product, you must first download Avid Link, which is a desktop app. This will install Avid software in one place. So let's go ahead and click on Avid Link. And it asks you to download this. So let's download it. And I'm going to download it for Mac since that's the video I'm using. All right, and it's right here. I'm going to open that folder. I'm going to double click on Avid Link. I'm going to allow it to run. Great. And so now you have a little side detour where you do need to get that iLok account confirmed. And you're going to get an email and it says, you know, click here to change your password. You're going to go through that account. It's going to have you change the password. It's going to have you sign in. And once you get signed in, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a sign in here. This is iLok. So it's iLok.com. You go ahead and click sign in. You're going to put in your username, password, and this is the same one you use for the Avid account, meaning it's the same email. So here's mine. And then this is the password that I've already reset this password. So don't come this far if you haven't clicked through that email. So I had to reset my password, so it's a different now, and I'll go ahead and click sign in. Now, in addition to creating that iLok account, you are going to need to also download their iLok License Manager. So the iLok License Manager is right here. You'll see there's also iLok License Manager here. That's how I got here, and this is a Mac, so I'll go ahead and click on the Mac. It'll download. I'll go ahead and install it, unzip, disk image, double click, and I'll click on license support right here. The company is called Pace, P-A-C-E. That's who owns this software. Agreed to the license. and click agree. Install. Again, this is administrator name for your computer and that password as well. I'll let it install here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and run. I'm going to pause this just for a second. Okay, we're back, and so just double checking, I have my iLok License Manager. It's installed. Now I'm going to go ahead and launch Pro Tools. This is the application, the intro. So let's go ahead and find that. I'm going to go ahead and get this off of here. So let's go ahead and just close that one. And I'm going to go ahead and go find that application. So here's my applications. I know that it's here. So I'm going to Pro Tools, which is here. I'm going to double click. All right, we're going to let it go through the process. It's asking to activate the software at this point. This is where you need that iLok information. Now you're going to put in that user that you used way back when. So there's that email address. And then your password is now the one that you have reset from that email. So this is going to be the newer password. And now it's saying select the license to activate. So it's the Pro Tools intro. This does not show up if you haven't gone through all of the process before. So you only get this far if you've actually gone through all the process from the beginning. So here it says, that's my only option. I'm going to click next. It says, where do you want to put it? I'm going to put it here on my MacBook. Click next. It says it's successful. It's been activated. Click continue. Give it a few seconds for it to go ahead and launch. Notice it said it was signing into my Avid account, which it just did. I was looking at all the plugins. It says Pro Tools Intro. This is 25.6 version. It's going to keep doing its thing here. And now it brings me to the very first page. And this is like our dashboard of sorts. So you'll notice it says Pro Tools. Usually when you launch it for the very first time, it's going to be on this page, which is like a tutorial page. So it says Learn. It's your own prerogative if you want to go through any of those, but this video is just set up to get you this far. And in the next video, we'll go ahead and create our first session, which we'll be doing using that new. And once it's in new, I'll talk to you about all of this stuff. But if you were able to get this far with the install and the iLok and all the activations, then Pro Tools is successfully installed on your system, and you're now ready to go into the labs. Okay? Good luck with this. If there's any issues, let me know. But in general, this should have gotten you from the beginning all the way to launching Pro Tools Intro. Good luck.